Welcome to Cynthia Insights. My name is Cynthia, and welcome to all those new folks. And for the regulars, all of you are welcome to join me for coffee or tea or Coke or whatever you like when you're going over to your neighbor's house to talk, because that's what we're doing. We're having coffee together and we're each other's company. So today we are going to talk about something that you requested in the comments. Now, I don't know how it's going to go over. I hope I don't get a lot of negative feedback. But what we're going to talk about is hair. Well, we've already talked about hair in our head and hairstyles and perms and all that. One thing I forgot to talk about when we were talking about hairstyles is I didn't talk about. I'm going to do this before I get into the other stuff because I'll forget. I want to talk about head lice. Do you remember having head lice? I do. And I think I had it more than once because I remember the shampoo treatments. Do you remember the name of the shampoo? Let me see if I can find it in my notes. I just decided to do this spontaneously, so that means I don't have my act together. Okay, the name of the shampoo was Quell. Do you remember that? Do you remember how it smelled so gross? Or there was another one, Rid was the name of that one. I think we used Quell. I don't know if we did or not. Then there was another one, Cuprex and Viaform. Do any of those ring a bell? I suppose you didn't have head lice, but I did. And I remember it was not fun. I remember my mother shampooing my hair with that and then going at me with the fine tooth comb. I was in the Dollar Tree today, and I looked in there to see if I could find a fine tooth comb, but they didn't have one, so I couldn't show you an example, but I'm sure you can imagine it. It had the tines on both sides, and it was really thin, and you raked it through your hair, and you got all the lice eggs out. Anyway, some people use vinegar to rinse their hair with lice. You don't hear too much about it. Lately. I don't know if it's not a thing anymore or what. So let me know in the comments if anyone has heard about lice lately. Let me know if you've had it lately, because I want to know. I want to make sure you did the right treatment. Anyway, so we're going to go back to the subject at hand. We're going to talk about not this hair, but we're going to talk about body hair. And we're going to start at the top, and we're going to work our way down under. Don't laugh. You said you wanted to talk about it, so that's what we're going to do. So, let's start with eyebrows since they're the top. And I said we were going to work our way down, right? So, and it makes sense. I can't see for anything. But these are your eyebrows, for those of you who don't know. Does everyone have eyebrows? Or are they plucked part way away from out of shape? Or are they lost because you don't have any eyebrows? Or are they bushy eyebrows that you could put curlers in? Or what are they? So in the 40s and 50s, they used to shape their eyebrows in a very thin pencil line. And of course they used eyebrow, what do you call that? I was going to say eyebrow shadow. It's not eyebrow shadow, it's eyebrow pencil. It's eyebrow pencil. Okay, so they used it, and they had very thin things. And then in, let's see, the 70s, my information calls it the wild 70s. That's when everybody really started using the tweezers, trying to achieve the perfect line. For those of you who don't know what tweezers are, I have implements for all of these things. Tweezers. Oops. I use this every single night. But not on my eyes. I'll tell you about that later. But I do pluck my eyebrows, and you can see how thin they are. And then I got this other little gadget. It's a shaver thing. I'm afraid to use it, especially because I can't see, and I'm not looking in a mirror. I can't do it because I can't. I'll try it. You need a mirror. I use a mirror every night, and it needs to be on the magnifying side. Okay, I just cleaned up one eye underneath. That worked pretty good. You're supposed to do it this way too. Have you ever seen men that have that big tuft of hair? Anyway, I have to put this on because I can't see. So those are your eyebrows, and let me see what's happening. So plucking was the classic. Then we did waxing. Did you ever do waxing where they put the wax on and then it's on a little cloth and then they rip it off and all these hair follicles come out? Well, you would think that that was permanent because if you look at all the hairs on that wax thing, it looks like there's roots on them. But guess what? By the time you leave the hairdresser or wherever you had this done, the hairs are starting to grow back. So you must have like an endless supply of those hairs. And this one I never heard of and I never did it. It's called threading. Have you ever heard of that one? I want you to tell me if you have or if you've done it. Threading, it's a string. And I don't know if you tie a string or what you do with the string, but you get it in your eyelashes somehow. Your eyebrows. I have seen on the Instagram, you know, those reels that keep going round and round when you're trying to watch Facebook. I've seen them doing things with strings on the eyebrows where they kind of make like a guideline or a map of where they're going to do their tattooing and stuff. So now they do tattooing. You can get your eyebrows perfectly shaped, but what if the style goes out next year? And then your eyebrows are outdated. So I'm sticking to the plucking my eyebrows every single night. I put on a light and I take my mirror and I prefer these tweezers. And I pluck my eyebrows. Okay, how about eyelashes? I told you before, my eyelashes are so much thinner than they used to be. I think that I had nice eyelashes, but obviously I don't. So eyelashes, we used to do things like an eyebrow curler, remember that? I don't have that. I was sure that I did. I'm looking at my supplies here because this is a little bit of show and tell. I don't have an eyebrow curler. I think because I was afraid it was going to bend my eyelashes in half because you had to squeeze it like really tight. And then mascara. I like mascara. I like the way mascara looks. There's some kinds that will elongate your eyes, your eyelashes. Oh my goodness. It will make your eyelashes look pretty. It will separate your eyelashes. But have you ever had raccoon eyes at night? You can't get mascara off. You cannot get it off. And then there's eyeliner. And you have to have a real steady hand, and you have to have a really good eyeliner to do it, because you do the top lid and you do the bottom lid, and you also put mascara on the bottom lid, and you always get it on your cheek. At least I always did. I don't use it anymore. If I was going someplace really special, I might, but there's very little that's worth it to me to try and get the mascara off. You have to be very special for me to wear mascara. Because it's awful. It's hard to get off. Now I gotta get my notes. What about the eyelash extensions? Remember when I started this video when I did my 3-month review, or whenever I did it, I don't know, but I was talking about these creators that I was watching and that I really liked. I really enjoyed them. And then as they became successful and they were getting monetized and making big money, these are big channels I'm talking about, but they were people like me that got big. It could happen to me. It could happen to you. Anyway, then they start putting the eyelash extensions in. This elderly woman, I won't call her an old lady, this elderly woman, well, she is an old lady. She has a homestead channel. Everybody watches her because it's a homestead channel. But now she has a nice hairdo. And she either has eyelash extensions or she has fake eyelashes, or there's some kind of eyelashes that they put in between your eyelashes. I don't know. But I wouldn't want to do that, but I would like to have long eyelashes. And if I get so famous, I mean, this is happening fast, although it's slowed down wicked. It's really slowed down a lot. But if I get famous and I start putting those extensions on my eyes, will you remind me that I said I would not do that? I don't want to do that. I want to be like a normal person, a real person. I'm not saying the people that put those eyelash extensions on are not normal. I'm saying Quinn Estergold. I'll be right back. This one is my favorite one, and it is the upper lip. Now I want you to look at my upper lip. See all those wrinkles? That is not hair. It's not hair, it's not facial hair. But if I didn't take these tweezers and that mirror and a high-powered light every single night, it would be. The reason I do this is I don't want to have a mustache. I know that some women don't mind it. I mind it. One of the reasons that I mind it so much is I had an aunt who I loved very much. I mean, she was a special aunt. And I looked at her one day, and she had all these big, long hairs on her upper lip. Some of them were like sticking out. And I just said, dear God, please do not let that happen to me. I even told my daughter, who is my power of attorney for my health care, I said, if I am in the hospital or I am in a nursing home, if I don't even know who I am, please make sure that my upper lip is taken care of. She said, yes, Mom, like she always does. I gotta have a sip. I've tried waxing it myself. First of all, it's a little awkward, but it works for a day. And you can go to a salon and you can have them do it. And it works for a day. Or maybe it's all done by the time you get home. So you have to keep at it every single day. And you don't want to shave it because then you will have a real mustache. So they say, I've never tried it, but you can bet these come out every single night because I cannot risk it. And when I see these videos, I see these lines and I said, that looks like hair. See those lines? That's not hair, that's wrinkles. Sometimes I get one right here. And it's always darker. Go figure that. And then you have on your face, you have this peach fuzz on your face. Now that shaver that I told you about, some women actually, I don't want to do this because I'm afraid, well, I'll do a little bit. Maybe I'll do, I can't do it. I don't know. But some women actually shave their faces, and some women do have a problem with hair growth, excessive hair growth, and that's, I am not making fun of anyone. I know there are bald people, I know there are hairy people, I know, I'm talking about an ordinary person like me. So then, okay, so we've done the face. We didn't talk about the chin though. Have you ever noticed, I don't have too much of a problem with the chin. Every so often, I will notice this hard hair. It's stiffer than, or do you call it coarser? Coarser than like this soft fuzz on the side. I wonder if people actually look at it. I can hardly see it, but when I've got my mirror on magnifying, I see all this fuzz. But I don't care about that because it's light and it doesn't show and it doesn't really look like a beard. But if you get one of those stray hairs, you can get them anywhere, but mostly they're right on the chin. Keep an eye out for them and get rid of them. I have to go get Quinny again. Okay, back to body hair. What about your armpits? No, I'm not taking my shirt off and showing you my armpits. But do you know some people are fortunate enough that the hair stops growing in their armpits? Not me. There are some people that let the hair in their armpits grow, and that's acceptable to them. There's some cultures that do that as well. I shave my armpits. So, just so you know. I don't shave them frequently though. Depends if it's a special occasion or something. Now, we're going to move on down. Does anyone ever get hair on or near their belly button? Men do. Are there any men out there? Could you verify that, please? I'm going to skip the next part and I'm going to go down to the legs because I want to keep you in suspense. The legs. I have been shaving my legs since the first hair arrived. And I don't know if you can remember, for those of you who do shave your legs, or did shave your legs, do you ever remember scraping the razor up your shin bone and taking a whole layer of skin off? Oh my gosh, I did that so many times. And then that protruding, I can't show you my ankles and stuff, I'm trying to demonstrate. And that protruding thing above your ankles. Oh, and the back of the heel when you come up the back. I'm telling you, I shaved all of those things where I shaved the skin off. I'm not talking like 1/4 of an inch. I'm talking like that big. The shin, I think I did the whole shin, and I did it more than once, and it bleeds, and it bleeds, and it bleeds, and it's gross, and it hurts. And so now you not only have hair on your legs, you have a scab. I became better and better at it, and I bet you did too. Now, when I shave my legs, which is very rare, well, it's summer now, so I'll do it more often. I forgot what I was going to say. I think we get more skilled with our shaving, and I think the instruments are better. And the shaving cream. I don't remember having shaving cream. I don't know. And then I have tried using those hair removers like Nair on my legs. That could be like a 5-day project, and then you'd have to start all over again. So that's the thing. The hair on my leg grows back really quickly too. But as I've aged, so have my legs. My legs, I used to have beautiful legs. Even if I say so myself, they were really beautiful. So weren't my feet. But they're awful now. The one positive thing is the hair is significantly reduced on my legs. Oh, it's still there. And it's right in the front. And I know it's in the back, like the back of my thighs. Does anyone else have that? I think there were a lot of times that I went out with a bathing suit and didn't realize that there was hair in the back of my thighs. I don't know. I could be wrong. But be that as it may, it's too late now. But living on a lake, you wear a bathing suit quite a bit of times. And taking your kids to the beach every year camping, you wear a bathing suit all the time when you're jumping in the waves at York Beach. I forgot that I had a muffin. That's how worked up I am about hairy legs. So I wanted to show you my instruments for hairy legs. These razors are kind of hairy. So this razor, I don't know what it's called, but the blade has shaving cream in it, on it, whatever. So it makes it easier to shave. I like this, but the cartridges that go in this are extremely expensive. My girlfriend who passed away this year, she gave it to me because I used to go and spend time with her, and I said, do you have any razors when I wanted to shave my legs? And she gave me this, and then she gave it to me just before she died, actually. And so it's kind of a momentum of her. Then I have the Venus ones. This one's in pretty bad shape. I found it in my drawer, but it has 3 blades. These are the best ones I found, but they're not cheap either. They're like $30 for a kit. Then there's the big disposable ones. These are bad. These are really bad. These are to be used only in a case of emergency. And then here's another. This one's brand new because I go like to BJ's or something, and I'll say, I think I need a razor. So then I buy another one. So I have to. Does anyone else do things like that? And then I come home and I put it in the drawer for when I need it. I see that I already have it. And I think that was before I was actually really senior. Oh, this one is called Intuition. And I don't know. Anyway, so that's it for shaving the legs. Does anyone have hair on the top of their toes? I have very little, and it's never concerned me because in my opinion, my feet are the best part of me. They look good. My poor mother, she had the worst feet. They were sore and they hurt her. She had arthritis and they were deformed. But she never complained. I don't think she had hair on her feet either. But it's a possibility. Okay. Now we're going to go to Down Under. Do you know what that is? I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Down under is the groin area. I can't believe I'm talking like this. Oh. Well, let's call it, for the sake of this video, the land down under, because groin, some of the other names that are bandied about. Anyway, it has also changed. The care and maintenance has also changed throughout the years. From the full natural look to the cut a little look. I didn't bring scissors. You know what scissors looks like. Okay. The cut a little look. The shave. Not the whole area, but the top of the legs that hangs out underneath the bathing suit. You have to get rid of that. That is essential. Then, they used to, let's see. Now, women and men wax that area to get rid of all the hair. Can you imagine the pain? The absolute pain of that? And it probably grows back just like this. And then you have to do it again because it's not very attractive if it's stubbly. Not that it's attractive anyway, but then they use laser hair removal. I can't even imagine going to a salon asking them to wax down under or to do laser hair removal down under. It's beyond my comprehension. And the men, they have their chests waxed because they have the ones that have, and they like to have a nude chest without any hair. I like a man with some hair. I debated about whether I would say anything about this, but if anyone knows about this or did it, I want to know, or if you're still doing it. It's called bead dazzle. And people would put beads or glitter or sparkly things just to make it more interesting. So, how things have changed. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I can't believe, if you knew how shy I am, and I'm not a prude at all, but I'm meant to be talking on TV about these things. Me. It's pretty bad. So anyway, those people had a little sparkle down there. So we've touched a lot of methods of dealing with our hair, from our eyebrows to our eyelashes to our nose hair. Now, the men out there, you better start doing something about the nose hair, because I have seen like long strands of hair coming out. And women, if you have it, you've got to do something about it. It is not attractive. Now, many years ago, I used one of those. Men have them, they go up at their nose. need a drink. With this little round razor, and it cuts off all the hair. But then, this is my experience, and I only did it once, but I never did it again because I didn't like it. So if you pushed your nose together, if you notice in these videos, I'm always touching my nose, touching my face, rubbing my eyes. It would be like little pins sticking in your nose, in the soft parts of your nose, because the hair is hard and coarse in there. So don't do that, but at least trim and pluck the inner, the outer visible stuff, so it doesn't look so visible. I had another thought while I was doing the nose thing, and I forgot. And I know that it was something funny. I can't remember. I don't know. So has anyone had laser hair removal, and does it work? And how many times do you have to go? I mean, anybody have any funny stories about it? Oh, I know. I didn't even talk about this stuff for down under and for the face. This one, gosh, this one is for the face. So this one is for the soft fluff. This is probably about 20 years old. I've had it in my drawer, and I would probably test it out and see if it works, but I'm not on my face. And then this one is hair removal for your legs and your body. Do you remember how this stuff smells? And do you remember what it's like to wash it off your legs or wherever you used it? It's disgusting. It smells awful. It looks awful. And you're taking it off with the washcloth, and you have all this pink, stinky stuff with melting hair in it. It's really gross. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I really enjoyed your company today. I think I took a little longer than usual. I'm sorry to hold you up. I know you have things to do, but I hope that you bring your coffee and come back again tomorrow, because I'll have something interesting for you, I promise, and it won't be as gross as Down Under. Bye.